So there's a difference between nomination and election.
Big difference.
It is actually, and this is what we see now in the streets. That and his photos and pictures, and you know, so people have. I heard like 2 days ago, I heard like a 10-year-old kid talking with another person, like 15, a teenager, 15. He's telling them, when Sisi becomes a leader, I will beat you up, you know. And I don't know. I mean, I heard the conversation, and it is like this 10-year-old kid, when the Sisi becomes a leader,
when justice takes its full course.
Exactly, and he will feel more powerful than to attack the older guy, because he's misjudging him and mistreating him, you know. So I mean, this is a very common feeling and very strange. He's like feeling that you have a leader to unify people around one target and to get people to one point is very important. And that's why, if you have, I mean, if you had like in the past 2 years or 2 years, any violence taking place in this day, I think this day will be a celebration. There wouldn't be any violence. I think so.
Hopefully.
We hope so,
because we all need to celebrate.
Actually, we are. Egypt is celebrating the passing the constitution with the real 98%, as you kindly said, and as Dr. Sheba said too. So we are celebrating the having the one target. We are celebrating that the many nominations and initiatives taken by civil society. You know, like yesterday, we witnessed the fund of Egypt, you know, and this was celebrated in the army, or was supervised by the army, and the army donated 300 Egyptian million pounds. This is a very big donation in order to support the fund of Egypt and in order to do more projects for Egypt. And this is it's very good. And you have a lot of initiatives plus this fund of Egypt. You know, I attended the celebration yesterday, and it was a real joy, and it is a real pleasure and prejudice to see people celebrating such.
Right. Let me move to you, Dr. Shariba, the police personnel again, the state security personnel. On January 25th, 2011, they turned down a new page an old page in their lives, and it was a turning point in their lives that particular day. January 25th this year, they're opening a new page. What is the difference throughout the 3 years? Because they were completely unpopular. They were not popular at all. There was a pile of hatred between citizens and the state security personnel, though that they are the same personnel. So how do you relate that? Is it what Dr. El Naggar said? It's the leadership that inflicts all the changes. It's the effect and the implication of the ideology of the leadership, or is it what caused that change?
First of all, the dramatic change in 2011 and moving out Mubarak from the scene and moving the other parties who were supporting Mubarak's regime, and the head of it was the Ministry of Interior, and he's right now in jail. Moving this person and other candidates there, it was a plus to the revolution, because these people did not work for the people of Egypt. They worked for their own personal issues, whether it is whatever it is. I don't consider
during the Mubarak rule?
Yes, but today, every soldier, every captain, and every head and leader in the Ministry of Interior, starting from the ministry himself, are working for the people. That's the difference. That's the big dramatic difference. They are working 100% for the security and safety of the people. They don't look, they don't think for anything. They think for Egypt, stability of Egypt. Especially, let me tell you something, we do have a serious problem. We don't have the time of joy or happiness of making any dramatic changes now. Why? Because our economy is not in the very good shape which we're supposed to have.
Right.
We did have a really tough 3 years. These tough 3 years made some people lose their shirt and pants. So we need right now to come to stability, to have peace, to have, after peace, to have kind of economy rolling, and people will feel it. They will not, I want to assure you that when the moment the peace is in, the people will recognize what happened in the 3rd of July 2013 was the beginning of getting their full rights. It is not the end of the game, but it is the beginning of getting their full rights, because economy doesn't jump up automatically. It needs time to jump. And that will, if I'm mistaken on the short term, it will be from 3 to 5 years. Even whatever giant prime minister you have, you need to work continuously, 24/7. Especially, you know, I am in planning and development. So before I start anything, I always pay very good attention what is surrounding me, what do I have, how can I make the role and show an ability to make it. So, as you said, all the key positions of the Ministry of Interior in 2011 were moved. So the pressure which was going from top to bottom was out. So the people, the policemen, they are out of headache and pressure from the top. And the top right now, they are helping them. So it lifted the police effects on the streets. You can see they are there. They are, although we do have some problems in the traffic, but they are there. They are solving these problems. They are capturing day by day criminals in different ways, in different areas, in different parts. They are doing their maximum. If the same problem happened in the United States, in Europe, the police there will really suffer more than our police today. But thank God the army have stayed with the police department, helped them also to gain back their power, and they did gain back their power. They are very strong than 2011. Let's agree on this. Today, in 2013, they are stronger than 2011, before the revolution.
Right. Let me take it from what you're saying now to you, Dr. Naggar. Dr. Shariba mentioned the army. When we talk about the police personnel, we can't separate them now from the army. But whoever is observing the scene here in Egypt might be really overwhelmed by, watching unusual things happen. Like when you talk about the police personnel, you also talk about the army, the armed forces also, all together. Over the course of events throughout last year and even before last year, especially the rule of terrorist Muslim Brotherhood, there was mutilation of bodies, there was assassination, there was kidnapping, and there was, remember the Kirdasa, the police station, the assassination of the police personnel there, and even the kidnapping of the army personnel from Sinai and everywhere, and you name it, and everyone knows it, even the foreigners who are watching us right now. Do you think that those events have helped really enrich the popularity of the security personnel in Egypt? Because he mentioned security personnel in the United States and said they would suffer more. But today, they have reached the pinnacle of their popularity. Is it because of what they have endured? I mean, the unendurable, pain and suffering that they have endured throughout the course of 2 years of real horror that they have taken it over their shoulders,
Right.
that have taken them to the pinnacle of popularity this year?
Right, as you kindly pointed out, this is one big major reason for such popularity. Plus, that people feel that they are these personnel, the security personnel, are really misjudged, and they are just victims, as many other people were also victims. You know, so the sensibility or the consensus between the people themselves, the regular people in the streets and in other places, with the security personnel, seeing them killed and assassinated with no reason, like the Mansoura big accident when the bomb exploded the whole area. I mean, you are not talking about only targeting the security apparatus of one government. You are talking about victims of whole street, victims of a whole area. So this is a very dramatic thing, and by doing such, I would say, violent actions and like childish attitude, violent childish attitude, you lose popularity on ground. You don't have any support. This support you were mentioning before, as you remember that the Brotherhood, when they were talking about support and people and the street, you don't have anything these days because of these violent actions that you have been adopting for such long time. On the other hand, of course, and